Well, we don't actually have a DVD for this because I don't think a DVD for this exists.
It does in the hearts of horror fans and bootleg dealers worldwide.
But Silent Night, Deadly Night 3, You Better Watch Out, is a very odd continuation of Silent Night, Deadly Night 2. Now, here's the thing. Silent Night, Deadly Night 2 was not really a continuation, or actually was more of a continuation of Part 1 in and of the fact that only about, 30 or 40% of it was actual film. The rest of it was flashback sequences from the first one. So this film is basically a lot of flashback sequences from both films intertwined with scenes of Bill Moseley plays the brother, Ricky Caldwell, in the film. And Laura is the sister, I guess.
Is that how they connect them? I didn't know they were...
I thought that was what it was.
I don't know, because Laura has another brother, which his name's Chris. And this guy looks like he's a fucking member of Warren or something.
He does.
He's got the thickest fucking chest hair I think I've ever seen on anybody.
So, start of the film, you've got Ricky in a coma, and he's in restraints in a hospital, and he's got this fucking thing on his head, okay? Which, it kind of looks like that thing Brainiac wears in the DC Comics, like Superman universe, but it's quite obviously just a bowl that somebody shoved on his head and then put a brain.
Anwar a little bit.
Yeah, like put the top part of a brain inside of a bowl and stuck that on his head.
Put a bunch of liquid in there, like Kool-Aid or something.
It's one of the silliest looking damn things that I've ever seen.
Yeah, well, the whole thing is the Laura character. She's blind, but she's also psychic.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, that's a little odd. And she has visions of the deranged Ricky getting her and her family. So, of course, that turns out to be true. I think she goes home to her grandmother's with Chris and his girlfriend. And, okay, half of this movie is just them traveling or in their grandmother's house looking for their grandmother. The other half of it is just scenes of Bill Moseley walking.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
And Bill Moseley doesn't really say anything hardly in this movie. I mean,
doesn't he have one line?
He might have one or two lines.
Yeah. And most of the shit in this movie, like the dialogue and stuff, is absolutely horrible. It doesn't really make any sense either. I know.
Yeah, we were talking about a lot of scenes that were that would have been good fits for clever one-liners, but they didn't make any fucking sense. Now, that was a problem. And I was thinking, why the hell are you saying that? How does that make any sense? How is that clever at all? The one thing that I always remembered I was laughing at is Ricky actually kills the Chris character 2 different times, but when he comes back the first time, his line is it live or is it Memorex? And I was like, what? What the fuck does that mean? And there's a lot of lines like that in the end. There's another one that is one of Bill Moseley's only lines in the movie where the Laura character at the end just says, Merry Christmas. And then you see a fade in of the Ricky character played by Bill Moseley that just says, and a Happy New Year.
That's right.
Shit.
So here's one thing that I want to know, though, and I didn't even look this up, but do you know who directed this fucking movie?
Monty Hellman.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Is that a real person, or is that just a name?
That is definitely a real person. I mean, I think he went on to direct actual movies that people know. I mean, he's an older... he actually directed part of that Trapped Ashes...
yeah, he did.
Trilogy, and he's an older filmmaker. I mean... I know he's in his 70s, directed The Terror. What else? Cockfighter, that was a good one.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, he didn't do too many films In fact, I think Silent Night, Deadly Night 3 was the last movie.
Yeah, that's probably shut him down
directed
right there.
for, almost 20 years, I think. So
here's the problem with this movie, though. It's not a fun movie. Like, you would think that the premise of it would be pretty fun, but it's not like either one of the first two films. It's not. It doesn't have the charm of the second film or the over the top intensity of the first film. It's just like I found most of the first half of it to be excruciatingly fucking boring.
Yeah, it really is.
And it's not even as good as the Toy Maker. I mean, the Toy Maker was epically genius in how bad it was. But
yeah, the Toy Maker was like, it had a really stupid kid in it that you could laugh at and enjoy. I mean, this did have some scenes that were funny in it. I thought that the Chris character was hilarious just because, like, the way he looked, like he had this, like, teased up curly, hair metal era hairstyle. And he was a horrible actor. I don't know. I'm guessing a lot of these people didn't act in anything else. And just the way that he delivered lines, and the lead actress, she did a horrible job as well. I mean, who the fuck casts your lead actress in a horror movie, and she can't fucking see? Okay, and she's supposed to be. And what's so funny is she has visions in her head that causes her to scream.
That sounds like a line out of a metal song. She has visions in her head that causes her to scream.
Anyway, I wonder what Bill Moseley thinks about this movie now, though.
See, what year did this come out?
89.
Okay, both these movies came out in 89 then, which is an odd coincidence, I guess,
Indeed.
in this case. But here's what I want to know. What was Bill Moseley doing in between the time that Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 came out and Devil's Reject, or like House of Thousand Corpses came out? Like, how the hell was Bill Moseley staying alive?
Well, I mean, when we talked to him in that interview, I think he was saying that he was appearing as Chop Top in a haunted house. And that's how Rob Zombie found him.
Yeah.
So he was doing conventions and, the odd movie roles like The Convent with Coolio and shit like that.
Forgotten about that, yeah. As far as this movie goes, though, oh, Jesus. This movie's not even, like, on the same fun level as Amityville 4, I don't think.
Yeah, but it does have goofy shit in it.
It does that.
Like you were saying, the fucking thing that's on Bill Moseley's head. What happened is, like, they tell in the backstory that, although I don't think this ever happened in Silent Night, Deadly Night 2, that the police shot part of Bill Moseley's brain off, and they reconstructed his brain, and they put that little dome thing on it to keep it safe.
Right. That happens all the time, though, really.
Yeah.
A special thank you goes out to our supporters on Patreon. The Patreon website has a complete archive of the Dead Pit Radio shows starting way back in 2005, in addition to all of the midweek shows archived, commentaries, all that good stuff. If you're interested, and we appreciate all the support, go to www.patreon.com/IntoTheDeadPit. Tiers start as low as $1 per month.